Oh my goodness, what a start to the Pro League season. This weekend was quite entertaining, so let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Apex Morning Shift, your number one Apex Morning Show on the planet. That is a fact. If you didn't know, ALGS Pro League Split 2 was this weekend, and in case you missed it, these are groups A, B, and C for North America. And so Saturday we had groups A versus B, and after 6 games, Falcons came out on top, finishing 31 points ahead of second place with 44 total kills. Oh my god. Tripods with second place, SSG third, OXG 4th, NRG 5th, LG 6th, CCE 7th, SKD Mark, Skid Mark is a crazy name by the way, 8th, Weave 9th, Not Moist 10th, and then the bottom 10 as you can see. So looking at these teams' first performances, we can see that with no surprise, Falcons dominated, finished first. Thanks to the POI draft, they got Skyhook West for World's Edge, which is the best POI on World's Edge, so no problem there. But they got Coastal Camp for Storm Point, which is a pretty awful POI, but they managed to make it work for them. They played hard edge and used that fighting power, that fighting IQ that they have to make it work. Seeing them perform together for the first time in Pro League was quite impressive. You can see that How playing as a fragger on Bloodhound is like the perfect fit for him, and it's the perfect fit for Zer0 and Jen Burn as well. Jen Burn's a god at the anchor role, and Zer0, well, Zer0 is just Bangalore IGL, one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest to ever do it. So not to glaze, but anything else but first place would be disappointing. Speaking of which, Zer0 was interviewed at the end because he was named MVP of the day, and this is what he had to say.
I think that this is a team that has almost, I was thinking about what could happen this week. And I thought, if you guys don't get anything but first, it feels like that could be looked at as a disappointment. You know, with this offseason, all the change, all the talk, how have you personally looked at this team and this roster and what your personal expectations are? We know you want to win, but I just want to know in your brain how this has looked and what this means for your legacy, your next steps in Apex, and really just hear it, you know, from your mouth.
Yeah, so basically, Hal's super famous, so had to clout farm, and he admitted I'm the better IGL, joined me, so that was cool. Dropping Sykes, like finally we don't have someone throwing 50% of games, it's been pretty nice, and yeah, like anything except first, basically just disappointment.
Perfect response. But the team that's the most impressive to me was Tripods. They finished second place. They played from Countdown on World's Edge, which is a comfort pick for them. It's what they're used to. This is what they've played from before there was the POI drafts. And from Northpad on Storm Point, which is a pretty decent POI. They made it work. Good calls from Onmu. Jet and Deeds fragged out. Love to see their chemistry. Ever since they qualified for the Esports World Cup, you can feel the confidence that they have as a team. This is a team that qualified through Challenger Circuit that didn't play Pro League Split 1. Super excited to see this team continue to grow this split and see them perform. So keep an eye out for them. TSM, 11th overall. Not the greatest day. Could have been worse, but definitely could have been better. They played from Survey Camp, which is an awful POI on World's Edge, and Launchpad, which is a very good POI on Stormpoint. Here's the thing about TSM. Their macro is really good. So they get very good placements, but they struggle with kills. They struggle with KP. They only got 11 kills out of 6 games, which isn't the craziest amount considering the placement that they got. So it does look like they're still getting used to their individual roles in the team. Reps being the anchor role, but playing Bangalore. Verhulst playing Catalyst, but being IGL. It's sort of like they're still figuring it out, and I have no doubt that they will. Keep an eye out for them. Their improvement will be significant. And E8, with 19th place, very disappointing start to their debut as a new team together. Zach Slayer and Luxferty playing from Skyhook East, which is pretty awful considering that Falcons are landing Sky West, and Echo HQ, which is a very good POI on Stormpoint. But they made little mistakes that would cost them potential huge games. So E8's macro and rotations weren't bad. It was just little mistakes, little split decision mistakes that would just cost them entire games and potential good games. They would be like in a God spot, and they would just not hold correctly, and then they'd get slammed, and they would just die, and then it would be very sad to see. They do have potential, but they do have some things to figure out. So that pretty much recaps day 1. And then on Sunday, we had groups A versus C. And after 6 games, Space Station Gaming came out on top with first place by only 1 point over second place, which was Falcons. And then Oblivion 3rd place, Liquid 4th, Vanity 5th, Flat 6th, Furious 7th, NRG 8th, Weave 9th, Most Hated 10th. And then the bottom 10 you can see right here. SSG with 2 wins on World's Edge. Played from Sky East, which isn't the greatest, but they played so well together. Absolutely flawless. They had tougher games on Stormpoint, playing from Lightning Rod again, but overall very good, and they had a decent last game, which secured them first place. Falcons finished second, but they could have been first place considering the fact that their World's Edge games were absolutely awful. Then a huge last game on Stormpoint, helping them bounce right back to second place, which is really good. Love to see it. It just blows my mind how something goes wrong and they can adapt to any situation like this. Very dangerous team. Congratulations to them. And then Liquid finishing 4th place. Yanya, Jaguares, and Nizol, who have been struggling ever since they got signed to Team Liquid, from tough performance at LAN to having difficulty in scrims as well, finishing at the bottom often. They finally get a good performance. So happy for the Mexican boys. So yeah, great start for Liquid. DSG and E8. 18th and 19th place. What happened? Oh my goodness. DSG just couldn't win a 3v3 to save their lives. They got stuck in ring 3 so many times. Tough rotation decisions. Fighting synergy seemed off. I guess those days happen, but you know, I hope it doesn't carry on to next weekend. And E8 again for the second day in a row, placing 19th place. Again, the same issue as Saturday, just like little mistakes that cost them potential good games that seem to stem from a lack of experience from Luxford and Slayer, which sucks because Zach has a lot of experience, very good IGL, very decorated IGL. So I could see his patience being shaken up a little bit. I was watch partying the whole thing and I could feel the frustration through the screen. They have some VOD reviewing to do, but they're 3 very talented players, so if they find a way to build that experience a little faster, I think they can do well, but we'll just have to wait and see. And so after these first 2 days, this is the overall leaderboard. Now keep in mind that only Group A has played twice. Group B and C only played once this weekend. So after next weekend, we'll have a better idea of being able to compare the team's performances and see truly where each team stands on the leaderboard. Now, if you look closely at the leaderboards, you probably realize that there are some new orgs that are back in Apex. That's right, 3 new orgs joined Apex this week. Falcons signed Zer0, Genburn, and Imperial Hal, and let me just say their salary is probably absolutely through the roof. Whew. Native Gaming, who were previously in Apex and now signed RKN, Rambo, and up-and-coming McLovin, and NRG come back to Apex. So glad to see them back in the scene. They signed Old Xset, Nocturnal, Fun FPS, and Reptar that they picked up this split. They also did pretty decent on day 1, 5th place, and on day 2, 8th place. We still have to see who's going to sign SKD and Tripods, 100 Thieves, FaZe, maybe a new org we haven't heard of yet. Let me know down in the comments. And of course, we have to cover EU. So on Saturday, it was Group A versus B. Gaming Gladiators with first place, who earlier this week dropped their North American team to pick up Light Blasts and Lufka. Finished first. Love that for them. Navi finishing 8th. Kind with 15 kills. 8th place, that is insane. Aurora 9th place, not too bad. And then on Sunday, these were the results. Outplay taking first place, solid performance from Andy, Shex, and Willem. Aurora with 7th place, not the greatest days this weekend, but still on lifeline, so that's all that matters. And after 2 days, here's the overall standings for EU. And same as North America, next weekend we'll have a better idea of the team's overall performances and being able to compare them to each other. And other than that, that's about it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter or X. I post some ALGS recaps on there, some updates, all that good stuff. Make sure to turn the notifications on. New episode every Tuesday. Like and subscribe. Peace. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's not even coffee in this. I've had 3 cups of coffee already, so I decided that a 4th one wasn't that great of an idea. So